What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Miss Maggie T with Lux Exchange. And if you're new to the channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss another post from me. But today, I definitely want to hit you guys with a little bit of a nugget today. A daily motivation. And I like doing these things because it's my daily affirmation. It's my reminder as well. So it's not something I'm finding off the internet just to sell a dream. It's not. It's something that I hold dear to heart because it's something I personally am struggling with internally as well. So it's my way of also giving myself a pep talk. And what better way of doing that as to sharing it with the world as well? Because if I'm going through it, you're going through it. I definitely understand things a little bit differently when you suffer from anxiety yourself, as well as you have children that also deal with it. So you kind of learn and diagnosed, mind you, with the disorder. So you just learn how to look at life just a little bit differently and have a little bit more compassion about it and understanding. So I just go through life differently. So definitely gonna leave you with some gems here and there because it's something I just struggle with myself as well, or it could be someone close to me. But I just want to give you guys a message that needs these type of things. So here we are. Loyalty. Let's think about that, people. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna be like your therapist. I'm gonna make you think sometimes, because sometimes we just are too loyal to people when they're not loyal to you. And here we are. We're at this place because I've been that person. Recently. Just recently, actually. Won't go into my time frame. I won't go into my true story because, I do respect people's identity, respect people's business, I do. But I'm going to give you tips and things to kind of help you overcome your own situations. So here we go. Because I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to bash people, and this is not why I'm here. So even if we talk about certain situations on our show, it's more to educate. And we're not, hey, Billy did this and Sarah did that. No, we're not doing that. You're going to always get a lesson from whatever we talk about. So here we are. Loyalty. Learn to carry yourself on your own back. People will drop you quicker than they pick you up. That's the quote I want to leave you with. Think about that. We tend to gravitate towards other people because we don't know how to depend on ourselves. Sometimes we self-destruct ourselves when we're already trying to be dependent on everything and everybody. We haven't even got ourselves together. Because you got to realize that income, that person, that whatever you're depending on, drug, will not always be there for you or do what you expect it to do for you. Okay? So I'm talking to that dependency and things of that nature. So I want to definitely get into that just a little bit, people. Tough lessons here. But we got to live them, right? Let's go ahead and get into it. Why you should never depend on anyone but yourself. The fact that is that our world exists within a sad reality. We are completely alone in this world, and anyone that tells you otherwise is simply lying to you or is too ignorant to understand what it is they are truly saying. You yourself are the only person that you can and ought to rely on. Let me repeat that. You yourself are the only person, I'm telling you, I don't care, family or not, friends or not, boyfriend or not, you are the only person that you can rely on. Remember that. You may say to yourself that you have friends that are there to support you and that you have family that is there to help you when you need help. You got that. I get that. I'm not saying that everybody is out to harm you. I'm not saying that. This is not that. But it's just kind of just reminding you that you're going to be reminded at times that, hey, it's just you, baby. But this may be true about having people, But it doesn't change the fact that when push comes to shove and the end is nigh, you're alone. Completely. As the saying goes, you come into this world alone and you depart from it alone. Absolutely. The sooner you come to accept this statement, the sooner you begin to rely on yourself for all it is that you need from life. Friends are very important in our lives, and if we are lucky enough, they love us. Lucky, right? If you were to tell me that your friends would be there for you if you called them, I believe you. That you do have friends like that, and it feels better when you do, honestly. It does. It just makes life seem a little bit more easier to tackle. I get that. If you were to say that your friends will always be there for you 100% of the time and would sacrifice anything for you, then I have to ask you if you were serious. So there's a difference. There will come a time sooner or later when your friends will let you down. It's going to be that time. No matter how good of friends they are bound to let you down at least once during the duration of your friendship. This is only human nature. We all make mistakes and poor decisions from time to time. So you have to think about that too. Even if your friends were to always have your back and be there to support you, you have to keep in mind that they have lives of their own. You may be besties at the moment and may remain so for a long time. But however, one of you is likely to get married, start a family, and drift away. Even if you do keep in touch, you will no longer be as important to them as their wife and kids, and you know how that goes. As it should be. That's what it comes down to. How important could you possibly be to other people? If you imagine life and death situations, the most serious of situations, how many people do you know that would risk their lives for you? How many do you know that would sacrifice their lives for yours? The answer is 0. And I'm going to get some feedback from that. What you talking about? Somebody got to think, I know it. I know it. I've been there. The fact is that there will always be a circumstance under which your friends will let you down. If there is at least one situation in your friends would not be there for you, then you should conclude never to rely on friends. If you can't rely on something 100% of the time, then you should not rely on them ever. By definition, they are not entirely reliable for anything. The only people that you could arguably say may consider giving up their lives to save yours are members of your family, of course, most likely one of your parents, and parents share a bond with their children that at times can be extraordinarily strong. Yes, I'll go to bat for mine. I definitely will. But again, we are not contemplating over whether our parents would risk their lives for us, but rather whether or not they're entirely reliable and therefore deserve to be relied upon. Of course, the answer is, again, no. And I'm sure that you have plenty of examples of yourself as to why you can't always count on your parents. The reason why human beings are unreliable is because we are egocentric creatures. In other words, in our world, we are the center of it. Everything we know and experience involves our existence. Our mental properties are focused on us and always put us ahead of others. This is not to say that you cannot put someone else ahead of yourself, but in order to do so, you will have to be focused and do so with a strong intent. Man, deep, right? When things are important, then we can easily put someone else's well-being ahead of our own. I've been there, people. However, if we don't give the particular event importance, even if we're told importance for the other person, are unlikely to focus on the other person, and will automatically, in our wants and needs, drawn to them, it becomes a problem. We are built to survive on our own, yet simultaneously could not stay sane if isolated indefinitely. Get that again? I'm going to just let you think about that. I'd like to kind of give you a little moment of reflection. So let's think about that. We both need and don't need other people. And I'm a Gemini. That sounds crazy, right? I need you, but I don't need you. I think I need you, but I don't need you. Nevertheless, one ought to learn how to rely on oneself and not on friends and family. There will come a time when they let you down and are no longer there to lend support to you. Learning to stand on your own 2 feet at all the time will make it easier to stand alone when things get ugly and there is no one there to help you. It could mean a matter of life or death, if not of your body, then of your sanity. This is not to say that we shouldn't ever ask for help. We should ask, and as often as possible. However, we must be ready to take on any burden ourselves if that is the only possible solution. And that is within itself. So, with that being said, people, I just want to talk a little bit about that loyalty and everything. When you realize that you have to have your own back, sometimes you got to look out for you. And when that becomes a reality a little bit more, you start to gravitate towards just not really worrying about it. You tend to let those go that just don't show it. You just tend to kind of push them aside. Eventually, they just kind of fall off the wayside anyway. Just like they become irrelevant in your life. Anything. It can be friendships. It can be dependence on income, because you just don't want to get up and grow up and put on your big girl panties and get a job and do the things you need to support yourself. You got to depend on other people, and you've grown accustomed to doing so. That's when we get into these horrible relationships and everything, because they're holding that against your head, and it's like, oh, you can't even do nothing for yourself in the first place. Your parents that just kind of take advantage and things like that, because it's like, oh, whatever. You're not going to do it for yourself anyway, so they're going to just treat you any type of way. You just, I need you, and they just let you down and just don't really be there for you. But they're just like, you know what, you're just a leech and you're nagging, and it's so much that goes into it, people. We got to build ourselves up to be better people for ourselves. You got to learn to you got to want better for yourself. Because of course, if it's something that you just can't control, like a disability and things like that, that's understandable. That's when you have to depend on others. But at the same time, if you are capable of, even if it's a disability that might give you a couple of challenges, but you can still find ways to fight through it. I don't let, I don't let a disability define who you are sometimes. That's why we have therapists, and that's why we have things set aside for ourselves. People develop differently, understand. So I'm not just talking about even letting a crutch be your guide. Mm-mm. Some of the most awesome people have a disability. So don't even let that define you as well. I can't. No. Did you really look into it? Did you really research? How can I work through this? What are the ways I can just kind of start having those conversations, find those communities of other people dealing with these things and see how they are dealing with their challenges, overcoming things, and find those successful people that go through it. I'm telling you, it's a world of greatness out there. That's why we have the Special Olympics and things like that. People, they just strive through it. There's nothing to let this put me down. You got to be that person. But I'm not finna, I just on and on and on. So I try to keep this within a 15, 20-minute window, because I know you guys don't have the entire morning to just sit me here, listen here to me rant. But I do appreciate you doing so. So I wanted you to take this message, definitely. Share it with someone that needs to hear this. And you need to hear this. We all need to remember this. Like I said, I do this because it's a personal thing to me as well. So I'm not going to just throw sheep over your eyes, wool over your eyes, just to sell a dreams, make some money and all of that. People do that sometimes. They just, you know how it is. You think they're good for you, but they're not. They're just like, just read my book. Yep, buy my stuff. Nope. I'm sorry, I'm not that person. I'm going to live through it, and I'm going to deal with this, and I'm going to teach you how I overcome these things, because how can I tell you something if I'm not going through it as well? All right? But on that note, this is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange, and I appreciate you guys each and every week, even when you tune in to the show every Wednesday night. And I think we are moving to a new time. We come on at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think we're moving it up to 8. Okay? Well, I appreciate you guys, and I'm out. Have a wonderful day, people.